Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. In today's scene, just following a conversation with their den father, uh, Maeve and Cinna have taken off from the area of the Cub Cabins, walking along with their insulated coffee cups in hand, like a boss. Bright and alert, thanks to being roused at 5 in the morning to do some of that their delightful training. They have since then had ample time to feed themselves, shower, what have you, talk to Den Daddy. And in light of just how enlightening, or not, the Den Father was, Maeve has suggested that she may in fact be able to remember where Garrett would be at any given time of day. So it is off on a search for the Shadow Lord, that person that is totally the best person to talk to when you're going to go talk to a bunch of Silver Fangs. So, after just a cursory glance at the rock, because, I mean, it's right there by the Cub Cabins. Well, he ain't there. So, second choice, seeing as he is not on patrol at this time of day, is to head towards the chessboards. So she'll let Senna know kind of where they're headed and stride along down the trail, having a good old time. And when or how Lucas comes in is up to you, honestly. So, oh, that works. So yeah, they'll head on down towards the chessboards and stumble across a pair of familiar faces there.
Your move.
He looks at the chessboards, looks at the different range of pawns, thinks to himself, thinks to himself, thinks to himself. Is this trade really worth it? His bishop is open, to be taken by the knight. But what is that queen? What is that queen doing there? Are we doing the system now?
Go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. Do-do-do-do. Na-na-na-na-na. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Apparently he makes the right choice. Takes the bishop, leaves the queen out there to pretty much do not a thing.
Well played.
Lucas goes ahead and stares at the board and stares at you. He honestly doesn't trust himself.
But you got to see how that'll play out 5 moves later.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'll take an extra dice. 2 successes. Okay.
It's about this time you start to see a really concerned look come across Garrett's face.
Okay. You can see that Lucas is getting a little bit more confident, thinking that he had been drawn deeper and deeper into the trap. But no, apparently the game is just going that badly for Garrett. And then the final push.
God.
It's a game that is definitely played by the numbers, as well. The rook goes ahead and flies onto the back row and puts your king into check.
You know, I was really counting on your late game being crap.
Don't
One of
worry.
these days.
Yeah, one of these days. I suggest going ahead and putting up a giant mirror, like right there. He says, pointing at one of the branches, so that about this time of day, I'm blinded and I don't think quite straight.
Oh, come on, you're smart enough to play chess blindfolded.
True.
I once saw a guy play 3 different games blindfolded, keeping all 3 board states in his head.
Dang. Was he a savant?
He's the best player in the world right now.
don't think I can go ahead and play 3 different games, even if I wasn't blindfolded.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, all 3 people he beat were, you know, less than amateur, but still an impressive mental feat. Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen. Lucas goes ahead and gets his sketchbook out and writes the name down. We'll have to look that up.
It's worth a look. Fascinating individual. And Garrett will begin setting up the pieces for another game because he wants revenge.
Fair enough.
Sweet, sweet vengeance.
At that, you can hear a branch kind of behind you.
Oh, a fail. And Garrett is familiar with this, someone trying to sneak up on him at the chessboard, so he will slowly turn around.
Hi.
Still working on it, aren't you?
Not.
Have a seat. And he stands up and he motions at the chair next to him or next to Lucas.
And Maeve will just kind of stride in from the original direction because she knows she's not sneaky.
So then I'll sit down, grab the thermos flask that she still has with her, and just pour some coffee in the top of it. Start sipping, and then that's Eris and Lucas just offers the cup. Anyone wants a sip?
Well, Lucas will gladly take a sip if you offer it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I only have 1 cup, but don't mind sharing. I don't have any weird diseases.
Yep.
Garrett just waves his hand. No.
Maeve will flop down probably without much ado alongside Lucas. And same thing. She's got the thermos. She's got the little cap. She'll pour it full. Though her coffee is, yeah, that ain't black. It's not sweet, but it certainly ain't black.
So, you guys looking for me, I suppose?
You can suppose what you want. You want the answer to it?
Well, it's only one reason you'd come to the chessboards.
Hey, you're a popular guy.
Maybe I just like to try my hand at a game. Maybe you interested me.
I would be very pleased to hear that. So you learn to handle the tower and the horse.
No, I don't think I'll ever handle this.
Brow quirk.
It's like a tower and a horse, damn it!
I know, I'm just giving you hell. So, what can I do for you?
Well,
Maeve will kind of look around to the various people because this is not a veil protected area.
I just had a couple of questions. Like, I'm almost becoming 18 soon, and I've got my party. Basically, my mom told me about the party and what I have to do to make sure that it will be a real party.
Ah, okay.
Gotta go on a field trip.
Yeah.
Garrett looks around and he notices most of the people in the immediate area are Shadowlord kin. Just keep your voices down. We'll be all fine. I take it you're talking about your passage to adulthood.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Congratulations.
Well, it turns out it might be a bit more difficult than I initially thought. I need to go to my home country, and I need to find out my lineage.
Ah, that shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, don't you all keep books on that?
Do you know? What do you know about the Silver Fang houses?
Very little. I mainly know that you guys come from royalty or
Yeah.
claim to be royalty, however it were.
Apparently so. It appears that the house that I belong to is in disgrace because apparently it fell to the worm.
Ooh, that's a bad look.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how willing people are to let me look into their books, or if there's even anything to be found, or if there even exists anything like books.
Um, I honestly don't know. It's just going to be something you have to ask them. And I'm assuming that there's still people around uh, of this house other than you. I mean, you seem to. I imagine you know a first place to look.
Well, I know that they are uh, in the UK.
Okay.
I know that a couple of them are in cairns over there. Um, the house itself is kind of fallen apart, but I do hope that I can visit some of them.
So let me ask you this: can you prove your heritage?
Um, Mama L found or told me that I belong to this house, so I don't even know how she found that out.
Well, her word should be good enough for anyone.
Yeah, or sorry, it wasn't Mama L, it was Morning Kill. Mixing up things.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll retcon my answer. Well, if it was morning kill, then his answer should be good for anyone.
Yeah. Well, the the thing is more, I can bring a few people along. I'm bringing uh Emmett. I've asked Maeve, and she wants to come along as well. I was thinking about one more. I'm just not quite sure who. Like, I would like to ask you, but might be giving some issues.
Issues, huh?
As far as I've heard, as far as I've understood, our tribes aren't best friends.
Oh no, no, not by a long shot. Of course, around here, my tribe's friends with no one. Had to deal with all that.
Yeah, that was kind of my point.
Um, but no, there is a special place in the heart of Silver Fangs for Shadow Lords. We have a very long history. Um, but for me, that's not too much of a problem. I people forget about this about me. But back in Chicago, I used to go to SEPs all over the place to deliver messages. As long as I'm on my best behavior and say I'm acting in an official capacity, they leave me alone. Noted messenger merit.
Yeah. Okay. I,
Now,
so
so yes, I can get you into any sept. Just say you're here on official business looking for your rite of passage, and they should uh, comply.
I figured Chases is likely to send word ahead of us regardless, and, well, we're both pretty exemplary of the stock we come from, so I don't imagine we're going to get much flack.
yeah.
No, no, you'd be more worried about mortal authorities than anything.
We're not gonna go by plane. That's not possible at the moment for me.
Yeah, I really can't anyways, so that cuts that out of the picture. And then, I mean, if we have Emmett or Aaron with us, I don't think paperwork is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
No, no, shouldn't. Um, As for me accompanying you, I am very honored that you would ask me. And if I'm able to, unless some kind of crazy guardian stuff happens, I'd be more than happy to join.
Not gonna lie, if I have to pick from the adults, you're not just the first person I think of, you're the only one I really think of. So, shrug.
Well, there's many other qualified candidates, I assure you.
You know, you say these things, but who that I actually know and trust to actually behave themselves if we're going to a Silverfang sept?
Yeah. So, any other concerns you got? What else do you know? I mean, you're just going over there just to figure out your lineage?
Well, that's the task. I'm I'm not supposed to come back unless I know. And
Maybe knits her brow at that. It's obvious that she hadn't heard that bit before.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of a rite of passage. You go and you succeed.
mhm.
Come back, it's a fail.
Well, then we're definitely sending word to my uncle's court, just in case we have to fall back on that.
Wait, what?
If
What?
everything, Maeve, if we cannot find anything, then at some point the three of you will be going back.
Well,
There's
if we can't find anything through the easier means, we go for the hope you know how to do a curtsy route.
I'm
I
not sure how much help your uncle would be in this case, Maeve.
Points to Cinna, looks at her
Points.
expectantly.
Hmm?
Tell him
sorry, tell him what?
about the queen of your house potentially
Oh,
being in my uncle's court.
yeah, I've heard this rumor from Gerard that maybe the queen of my house, Queen Mary, is being protected by her uncle.
I
Grin.
retract my statement then.
That Fianna hospitality, though.
Not entirely sure though.
Well, no, but it's not. It's not like it's not worth checking if it comes down to it.
Yeah, it may be something you have to do if you run into a dead end in England. Um, this was Miss Whisper that gave you this task, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. A rite of passage is supposed to carry a lesson with it. That's what I believe. And if she's trying to impart a lesson on you, then it's probably some kind of courtly politics attached to this. So she's expecting you to be a diplomat in all this case, you know.
What she said was that all Silverfangs should be able to recite her lineage, and since I cannot, since I don't know my lineage, and I don't know which heroes I hail from, she
Oh,
kind of rolls her eyes a little as she says that.
yeah, like Garrett's been kind of waving his hands back and forth, like doing like the chatterbox motion with his hands, like blah blah blah. Yeah, I know.
So that's why she wants me to find this out. Now, to be honest, I am kind of curious. I mean, like, they're still my folks, you know. I like my parents, the one that I know, my adopted ones. But if I can ever find out who my real ones are, I would like to know this. I would like to know whether they still are alive or not, or even one of
I
them, you know?
I did not know that about you, Senna.
Oh, eh, whatever.
Smirk.
Then yeah, this is quite the task then.
Yeah,
I'll help you in any way I can.
So, on the off chance that you can't get away to do this if you're needed more here. And she'll glance between him and Lucas, actually.
Hmm?
We have one more spot, and we figure we should take an adult. Who else do you think would actually be suited to something like this? This isn't like... I mean, there's a chance anywhere that we'd go into a fight, but this isn't... That's not the goal, so who would you send that you think could actually handle a bunch of Silver Fangs and Fianna?
Take somebody worldly that's been traveling for a while.
Garrett looks up and he hems and haws, going through the list of everybody on Sept in his head. Mikhail has a way with words.
I feel like I should spend more time with Mikhail. I do not know him very well.
He is my packmate. Though he doesn't have the past that I get, you know. And he's a little bit more dogmatic of a Shadow Lord, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You may have a way with words, but no offense. I do not want to take him along. I
Yes.
think you're diplomatic. He has a way with words, but can be very stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's face it, you're just smoother than he is. Shrug.
Like, with you, I can risk bringing a Shadow Lord along. With him, I cannot. That's the way how I feel about it.
And it's a very good feeling. I agree.
So if you had to choose someone to take your spot,
Let me see. And see, I'm trying to go through the entire
Mhm.
cast in my head.
this is the thing, I can't think of anyone else.
Trying to find something else because I made a list once and I made this in character. I should still have that copy in character as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I have the spreadsheet. Let me open it up.
I mean, I think Lucas or Talia would do well enough over there, but I imagined the whole point was to take another adult, so...
Yeah, you're pushing it, bringing so many cubs.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fly.
To be honest, I would love to bring Talia, because as Olaf said, we might want to bring someone who can take a punch. But
It's a thought, and she's probably the most even-tempered Arun on Sept.
yeah, and I just don't think it's a good idea to bring another cub. Like, Emmett still has the responsibility, at least for you. If there's another cub, then at least for that one as well. Even if we're taking me out of count.
You know, there's always Ren.
Been thinking about that as well, and would be a very good option. However, I don't know how the Silverfangs are going to respond to Ametis.
And you see Garrett sigh because to him it's just not an issue, but he realizes the rest of the nation doesn't think like him.
Yep.
Yep.
That makes him... Actually, yeah, it kind of makes Maeve scrunch her nose a bit. And she'll kind of grudgingly confess, yeah, I don't know about the Silver Fangs, but from what I've managed to read, we have a lot of books with information about the Fianna and what they do at Belvedere Castle. I get the impression that wouldn't go well, at least with the Fianna. And while I know she's a strong person, I wouldn't want to put her through that. I imagine that's hard.
Yeah, these are English Silverfangs, and they're actually English. They are the kings and queens of passive aggressiveness. I don't want to put anyone through that.
Well, I'm running up dry. You could always take Travis for the sheer rank he brings.
I was thinking about Travis as well because he is a hero and blah blah blah, you know, with the Fianna and everything. But he's also the Wormfowl. He can't get away that far.
We all know what
Like
happened the last time you went that far from Sept.
Oh, believe me, I know that.
Yeah, I don't
so
want that to happen again.
I'm kind of coming up dry as well. This is why I was hoping that someone would be able to provide me with some help on this matter.
I'm just gonna look over and examine Lucas's expression.
Lucas is like, has his eyes closed. You notice that the pawns that you've been building up have already taken the wall and have pretty much broken the pencil in half and have started to invade the inner courtyards. He just sort of goes ahead and muses to himself. The Sept definitely has a lot of allies that don't stay on the grounds very, very often and tend to travel a lot.
Like who?
There are a few messengers that go from here deeper north, and there are a few messengers that go from here deeper south. Go ahead and look into Morningskill's records to see who the most noted messengers are.
I could, but like to be honest, there is still the part where um, I want to trust whoever I'm bringing along.
Then go through his records and see a name that you can trust.
I've actually even thought, like honestly, if it would have to be someone that I don't know that well or that I don't know at all, I would sooner ask Miss Whisper herself if she wanted to come along.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Is that cheating?
Kinda.
Would defeat the purpose.
I don't know, why would it? As long
Shrug.
as I'm doing the job and as long as I'm doing my thing, like she would be perfect to keep an eye on the cub that is coming along, and she would be able to. Like other than that, I don't. She would be able to judge me immediately.
The
And
thing
actually,
is,
the more she points that out, Maeve kind of winces at the idea of having Miss Whisper breathing down her neck to be all prim and proper the whole time. She actually kind of
the thing
makes
is,
that kind of face.
Cinna, this is your rite of passage, and she's going to expect you to carry the shoulder. And even if I come along, I'm still expecting you to carry the greater part of the burden.
I know.
I can get you into the door and I can advise, but you're the acting alpha on this thing.
She said that I would never become one. Guess this is the exception. No,
She
I know.
she told you that?
I roll. And Maeve draws herself up, very prim and proper like, and goes, Ragabash can't be alphas. Like, obviously reciting amidst heavy sarcasm.
That.
Yeah, that.
She's very much into the behave according to your auspice. Don't take any step outside of that. Well, I don't agree with that, and I've told her so. I think that's my task as well. Eh,
Maeve sneaks a glance at Lucas again.
By now, the different pawns have started to arrange themselves in a mecha pawnzilla with a little bit of tape and gum, actually.
What the crap? So he didn't pull a face at the whole Ragabash's can't be alphas thing?
Oh, no, he's been amusing himself, my good man.
She
Well,
approves of this
You,
mecha pawn.
you can go ahead and safely assume that Lucas has been mostly paying attention to the conversation and definitely analyzing it and like critiquing it himself, but not offering anything in his face or in his words yet.
just for the fun of it, we should make a Ragabash pack at some point.
oh, that's a bad idea.
I know, but then who's gonna be alpha? No one, because, well, apparently we're not allowed to be alphas.
Narrow-minded worldviews aside,
Sorry.
this this should not be that difficult.
Don't
Unless
know.
they say that the records are kept in Mount Doom at the top of in Mordor or whatever. The most difficult part here should just be diplomacy.
Yeah, I don't expect that it's gonna be really tough. Honestly, I'm bringing Emmett for the computer work. Should there be any? I mean, I've checked out the records when I was young to see if I could find my birth parents together with my adoptive parents, and at that time we came up with nothing.
Yeah, it makes
Well,
sense.
I still like that was 5 or 6 years ago. I've tried again to be honest this summer, but I was only there for a week, so I didn't really have much time. They still didn't really come up with anything, but if I can get Emmett or Aaron to work on the computers, well, then at least I'll know for certain if there is anything or if there really is nothing. I can ask within the sept that is closest to my hometown. Maybe, hell, maybe even my adoptive parents know something or have an item or something that we can use. I'm intending to ask Katori about which spirits might be best to find these things out with. Like, maybe there are like history spirits or something. I don't know.
Yes, there are definitely
Ancestors.
things called history spirits. History spirits that are both spirit and flesh. They're called galliards.
Well, that
Go to
is
your home set, start talking around to the local galliards, see what you could possibly do to help them so that they can help you.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a smart
There
thing.
is no home except my house anymore. However, as I said, there might indeed be someone who's still a Galliard of House Austral who might know something.
Well, there
I'm
you go.
maybe
Start
just gonna
there.
pull a face. The different houses, are they patroned by spirits?
I don't know about that. I know that we follow Falcon and Sun and Moon. Falcon obviously being the, well, representative of the sun. But I don't know. I don't believe every house has a spirit that they follow.
Hmm. That would have made it too easy.
Hmm.
The thing is we have a starting point, and a trail will appear, and you'll follow it. Talking with your adoptive parents and seeing if they have any kind of mementos or information about your previous life is a start, but I suspect it'll come up dry.
Look for a galliard of your house.
Yeah. We're going to go to Europe and we're going to start asking questions, and eventually we'll get pointed in the right direction.
That was kind of my plan, yes.
Yeah.
That and the computer work, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm skeptical if anything's going to turn up on that front, but it doesn't hurt to have backup in case.
Planning to ask first around in our society if anything is to be found, and we'll probably be there. I
Mm-hmm.
can ask my parents if they have everything ready for me to pick up at their house. I'm sure we can rent a car or something and drive by my parents' house. I, that would be interesting.
Hell, we could probably get chauffeured at this rate.
Probably. They could even send a car.
Now, the last little bit is if we do have to use Maeve's bloodline to pull some strings, that's going to open you up, Maeve. It's going to
Blink?
open you up to all the red tape and the court system and whatnot. I don't know, but you're putting yourself out there if that happens.
Be
She
honest.
kind of wriggles her nose. I think, honestly, that one way or another, sooner or later, I'm gonna have to meet this court or members of it. If I can do it there, it means they don't have to come here, and that it doesn't put the sept under any pressure. And, well, I've read a surprising amount of courtly etiquette. I think I can fake it.
Garrett nods. Just want to make sure you're
Etiquette.
ready for that.
Uh,
Maeve, honestly, if you need some lessons on how to behave, besides Miss Whisper, I think we could ask Gerard if he wants to give you some lessons. Hell, I could teach you some.
you know what? Honestly, maybe I should have a sit-in with him to double-check what I think I know before we leave.
We could try. I mean, oh god, etiquette, it sucks so badly. Like, I can teach you some of it, although most of the things I kicked out of the window as soon as I left my parents' home.
Yeah, my folks are pretty old-timey, and between that and the fact that, well, I mean, I only had access to so many books, and when one of the only ones your family gives you is courtly graces and whatnot, I've read it a couple times too many, so I think we'll be okay. I'm more worried about, well, I'm actually not anymore, but I think one of my fears would have more been that they would have tried to make me stay.
To be honest, I would prefer to first do it or try it without. I think if we actually need to make an introduction, or, well, go over to your uncle, I think it would be wise that we announce our presence like a week or at least in advance, or of our arrival. Um, if
I mean, I can go ask Chases to send word along that we may be going there, so that at least they have some manner of forewarning.
a maybe would not do for a king.
I
If you make an appointment, you have to actually be there, I think. So I'd say let's first try it like this. If it fails, you guys can go back. I'll stay and live with my parents for a week. They'll be thrilled, and I don't think the authorities here will find out. And we can then always, as you guys have returned here, you can always make or, well, send out an official words that you would like to make your introductions to your uncle. And then after a week, we can all go. I think that might be smarter.
Makes sense. I just hate to leave you there for a week.
No, it does make sense. It makes perfect sense.
It's just a week I can manage.
You're going to be fine, Cinna. Biggest challenge here is any roadblocks that come up along the way.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, but the idea that, like, in a week I might know what I kind of wanted to know for like 20 years or so, it's kind of weird.
No, it's terrifying. That's what it is.
Yeah. Thanks, Lucas.
And Garrett waves a hand in the general direction of Lucas like he's swatting away a fly. Like don't listen to him.
He's right.
Well, I mean, he gets points for being honest. Shrug.
Yeah, I suppose, but I'm more concerned as if you're ready for all the responsibilities and duties that being a Cleoth brings.
You think I'm not?
It doesn't matter what I think.
Well, I'm asking your opinion.
My opinion, you've been doing stuff for this sept since you were a kinfolk. I think you're more than ready for the responsibilities. But you need to be ready inside here. And he taps at his head.
Well, I know one thing. I'm so ready to finally be able to go off Sept again and buy myself some proper coffee at the coffee corner, right? Like one street away from the park. I only have to cross the street.
Garrett grins.
Can I go with you when it's celebratory coffee time?
God, yes.
Grin.
I mean it. If I become cleared, I'll ask permission of Werewolf to take all of you guys out for the proper party. I don't know. I'll rent a place, something small.
Or at least a fancy cup of coffee.
Yeah, we should have a proper celebration.
We should.
Hey, there is going to be that little awkward moment when Olaf tries to treat you like a cub, and you're going to have to snap at him and remind him that you are no longer a cub.
I'm still a cleared at that point, not a foster.
Doesn't matter.
Snapping isn't the verb I would favor for that situation.
No, if he snaps back, I'm literally part. I'm in two halves.
I think more of a sly reminder.
Just a little reminder that you're no longer under his domain as a cub.
You have an auspice buffer, use it.
That, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, it's not like the three of us. I think all of us are basically ready.
Oh, God.
Not.
But this time the Pawnzilla has been dismantled, and the line of pawns have been replaced, put back where it once was.
Hey, Garrett.
Yes.
You ready to deal with all three of us being able to do whatever we want? Grin.
And he shrugs his shoulders. It's out of my hands at that point. You'll be on equal footing with me.
She sticks her tongue out. Try harder.
Try harder at what?
You're perfectly capable of being higher ranked than you are.
It's not high on my priorities at the moment.
Bah.
Well, any other questions or concerns?
Not at the moment, no. We'll have to talk to Emmett and Aaron and what's Morning Hill.
Well,
Yeah,
this conversation.
As for if I can't be there for whatever reason, there's always Olaf. The guy respects the chain of command. He knows when he's beneath someone. He knows when he's above someone. He's your den father.
Do you really think the den parents can afford to leave when there are so many of us here?
I don't. I'm just trying to throw stuff out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if you can't make it, then fuck it. Go with. No, like I want to have people that I know I can trust. Most people that I think I can trust are not in a position to leave Sept.
At which point Maeve slowly leans over to Garrett and in like the playful half whispers like, "Ha ha, people trust you."
And he looks at Maeve.
She has kind of an impish expression.
And then he looks back to Cinna. I appreciate the sentiment, and I will do my best to be there. But I wouldn't wait too long on my account. If you can think of someone else that you trust, take them.
We're leaving Wednesday, probably. Most likely. We'll see.
Indeed. And if you'll excuse me, I have to kick this cub's ass at chess for once. Dismantle whatever Legos you're building right there and let's go.
Oh, and about that time, the pawn in the knight was, well, very, very interesting maneuver with the tower, and just like, okay, fair enough. Replaces them all back to where it once was.
I'm white this time.
Alright, then it's your move first.
Shall we call it there?
We can.
Sure.
Well, in that case, with this pair going for who knows how many times over a rematch, we will say thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time on another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.